we enlisted new licensees. Again, green as green could be, for strictly showing agents, getting them out as a I want to say showing agent for hire, basically within your group.
Right.
So in other words, if another member of your group has a commitment on Thursday at 2:30, but the Smiths want to see a pretty property Thursday at 2:30, you have access to a dedicated showing agent if he or she was available within your group.
Okay.
And that showing agent didn't go out and solicit listings.
Right.
Was basically another resource within
And
the
Frank
group.
always used people to do that as well.
Right.
It's hard because some people want to be paid.
Well, and the way we do it back there is it's a flat fee. It's
And that's not a bad idea.
You're in my group. You go out and commit to showing a listing on Thursday at 2:30. Depending on the geography, I pay $75 or $100. Put easy money.
That's what I do if I'm gone that weekend.
I'm sorry?
That's what I do. If I'm gone and I need a tour,
It's a flat fee.
5 homes, $100. If you do it Saturday, if you do it Sunday, it's another $100 for Sunday. Should only take you 2 hours to run through those.
Well, and I had it set up
Who are
where
you using here in this office? Who are you using?
For showing, it depends on who's available. I'll call.
Sometimes I just do a mass email and whoever.
Andrea's down there.
right,
It's like
first come, first serve.
Yeah, that's pretty much. It's the most honest way to sometimes do it.
Because I'm going to, speaking of the Thanksgiving,
Actually,
I would like to be here, but I'm going to Florida.
if that's what
You
we're
go
looking
to
at,
Florida?
I'm moving up the
I want to go to Florida.
it'll get bigger.
Showing that, that.
This is just once I
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, you have to figure that out.
that has always worked out pretty good for me back there. It's a good way for new licensees to cut their teeth.
yeah, for sure.
Hi.
So we're gonna go right into that. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, and then I'll get my portion. Yeah. Love it. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you. You're welcome. We'll probably use these in the office here.
Well, you made it just in the time, I mean,
How are you? How's it been?
cool, Good? Yeah, how about you?
Okay. Some stuff going on, but nothing like concrete.
Yeah. So TC, why did you decide to, you're a broker out in Ohio?
I'm a broker in Ohio, correct.
Yeah, so
Why am I here?
are you there?
Snowbird. So the plan eventually, we have a home here. The plan eventually is to be here full time. Right now, we're only here in the winter. So, and this is the first year we're starting this. So I just got licensed
Did
here.
you look on the
I'll
online?
continue with my real estate practice in Ohio. And once the snow flies out east, I come here and spend 4 months here.
In Vegas, it's still cold though.
How do you define cold?
I think 40.
Oh, that's not cold. In Ohio, it's below
I
zero.
was thinking Florida.
I don't like the humidity.
You know, like in Vegas.
I like the dry.
And all the I enjoy it.
And my wife and I, we love the heat. We love the summer. I mean, we love the 110 degrees. We love it.
I'm
pretty sure.
I hate winter.
Right?
Because you know how like MLS
But,
classes that you have.
My husband really wants to
I
buy
haven't done my profile.
like a Airbnb in Florida.
Yeah. Well, that was originally my plan.
Yeah.
And then we started vacationing out here
I don't know here, to be honest.
quite a few years ago. And we just decided like to do that.
Yep, because they have them all the time. And I still work, I work at
Right?
Yeah.
Fish. That's your name, right?
That's what I go by.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's fish.
Fish.
It smells like soap in here.
With me.
It's you.
Hey, nobody's watching. Do I need to stream this? Do you need me to record this?
Min1 is supposed to be logging in, and you have to because Jessica got called in to work.
Okay.
So I sent her the link so she can watch it later and then get back to me with questions.
Okay. Will do.
Okay, so no matter what, you have to do it.
Hey, it's not April 16th.
Right?
Well-
That's that too.
I had already had stuff printed, so I wasn't gonna waste paper, so just I think I can white it out.
I am messing with you.
Yeah, that's 2 orientations ago.
All right, let me turn this down. I'll get started, guys. All right, so we have a outline of today, right? So I'm going to run through duties, obligations, office policies, office facilities, advertising, marketing, insurance, legal, blah, blah, blah. Transaction desk, MLS, and Authenticsign. So a couple things are changing, but let's go through duties and obligations. Did everybody read through their policy and procedure manual?
Yes.
All right. If you haven't, I'm going to pull up a couple things that I think are important. All right, so anyways, everybody see where I went to get to our docs? Because everything's in this back office. So the hamburger at the left, shared docs, documents, company paperwork, if you ever need to read anything, policies and procedures. Okay, so this just is an outline of, how to act professionally. You guys should know all that stuff already. But we have to have an outline for it because my attorney said so. So here it is. Paperwork policy is probably the most important, right? Because we're trying to keep everybody out of trouble, okay? And what can and what can I not do along with your ethics and confidentiality? How about we just keep it to the basics? One thing I want to point out here, as far as you guys are knocking out the orientation, which we're doing quarterly. I probably should revise that to a quarterly one, but that's being knocked out. Business of the company, single family homes, residential, leases, referrals. You are allowed to do BPOs. If you want to start doing them, talk to me first though, so I can teach you. You guys are all under the obligation of the real estate division, right?
No.
Catches up. The biggest thing, and this is why it's one of the top of duties and obligations, because this I get argued with, and I would say it's because agents don't know. The broker shall keep records for each transaction for a period of at least 5 years from the date of termination of this transaction, Access to the files are at this office. So what that means is, I don't care if you move on and you go to another brokerage, say something happens at that brokerage, they have the right to come back to this brokerage and audit all of your files for 5 years. So if you start your files here, I want them in order. I want them done the right way. So our back office system is a flow chart. If you think like a computer, if you put something in, it's going to ask you to deliver me something over here. So that's probably my main concern, is that I have to hold your files for 5 years, so they have to be correct and they have to be compliant. So keep that in mind. Sorry, this is okay. And then make sure you keep a copy of everything else you put in. Associates have to keep a copy also, so that we match. All right. Bonnie, this one's old. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, volume 2B is the one I have here.
Yeah. That's the original. Let me go to volume 2B. All right. A couple changes on 2B are highlighted, and that's our paperwork policy because I got tired of arguing with people. Company requires all listing agreements, purchase contracts, and lease agreements to be submitted to the company within 5 business days of execution. That's been the same on exhibit or the first volume and the second volume. All right. The problem is nobody was adhering to the rules. Okay. So the rules are for the state of Nevada that anything signed between a buyer and a seller is an executed contract. Guess what that means? I need a copy of it. And in the state of Nevada, it is 5 calendar days. So I'm actually giving you guys 5 business days to put that into the back office. So anything that's signed is an executed contract. And the reason being is if that seller calls me on Monday morning and you executed something Wednesday and didn't upload it, or Tuesday and didn't upload it, I can't have a conversation with that seller as to what happened on Sunday or contractually. So 5 business days is what I expect of any signature or executed agreement between a buyer and a seller. Okay?
48 hours in Ohio, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm pretty lenient. I just follow the state of Nevada. A lot of brokerages you go to, it's like 48 hours, 72 hours, and they want it. Right. I'm going with the law. So if the real estate division, if they call me and say, well, I require it with 5 days, like you guys. So if it wasn't in. The fact of the matter is they can go audit every one of your files. Okay, so if you pull up the fine, NAC, I forget which one it was, but I have it somewhere. It is $1,000 fine. If they audit your file and it wasn't turned in to me within the 5 calendar days, that is required by the state of Nevada. That's to you, not to me. It's $1,000 fine. Then if they find that on your first offense, guess what they do after that? They go audit every one of your files for the last 5 years to see if you were turning in your files within 5 business days. And if they find it, guess what the fine is? $1,000 per file.
Cory, just a quick clarification. It says 5 business days here, and you said 5 calendar days. Which is it?
It's the state of Nevada is 5 calendar days.
Calendar days.
But I can get away with 5 business days, so I allow these 5 business days.
Okay.
So I'll fight for you on 5 business days.
Okay.
Anything beyond that, sorry, it's actually a $225 fine. Okay. And that's basically to teach you a lesson. Because I don't ever want you to do it again. Okay. So if you signed a contract October 30th and you decide to upload it tomorrow on the 5th, that's 6 days, we're automatically going to throw a fine on your file. And it's so that you understand that you're breaking Nevada law, which could end up in license revocation. So you don't have to deal with that or fines, because it's a waste of time to go to the division or be investigated by the division. Trust me, you don't want to talk to the division, you want me to talk to the division, and I do on a constant basis. So paperwork, 5 days, make sure it's in our back office. This shouldn't affect you guys, but the reason this is in here with another fine that I put in here is because at the end of the year, there's some savvy agents that like to not complete their files in November and December because they think they'll get a 1099 in 2022. Okay? Don't do that to me because I'm just going to start collecting you for money. Okay? So I'm not going to let your commission sit in my commission. Okay? I'm going to 30 days if it's not done, I'm taking 25% of that commission. But right now you guys are 100%. You get everything that you're making. Don't let it sit there thinking you're going to get around the IRS by going into another fiscal year, because I'm going to collect it, and I'm going to pay the taxes on it, and I'm going to spend it how I want to spend it. So keep the files in. 30 days, 25%, 45 days if it's not complete, I'm taking half the commission, and if it's sitting there for 2 months, you just forfeited 100% of your commission.
Have you ever had to do that?
No, but I dealt with it
Oh my
on the admin level where somebody stocked up almost $120,000 in commission. And they didn't have this policy in place, that brokerage for that stuff. And so nobody knew what to do with it. You know, it was 100% shot. So anyway, this alleviates me from having to keep reminding you. And we give you guys a call when your packages come in. You get a text from Bonnie or a quick call, hey, your package is in. I'm going to start auditing your file, make sure everything's in there. So you guys get paid. Because I don't want that money, I want our commissions account basically at zero every 30 days. So that you know you got paid, it's easier for my account. When I go and ask for the audit November and she's still waiting for October pays, then it costs me money waiting for October and September pays. Anyway, so that's that one. Don't let it get out of hand. TC, you're not from here. Did you guys have dual agency? And no, so dual agency here also exists. We're sent to act form, but now you have a buyer and a seller file. Okay? It's $100 for this file and $100 for this file. It's not one file. I'm not going to do it. It's $100. It's not. I'm not charging anyone on the way to $40. We have a buyer file. We have a seller file. Okay? So under that dual agency, make sure that you have consent to act from all parties. But yes, you are allowed to do it. A lot of brokers just say no. I don't care, but just make sure you disclose it and that they're comfortable with you on both sides. And at that point, confidentiality and negotiations out the door. It is all written negotiation and no trouble. Okay. Referrals. So anytime we have to cut a check, so say you got a referral from Remax in Southern California or from Ohio, and then we're paying them 25% or 30% whatever you guys negotiated. Make sure I have a W-9 so that they get the 1099 at the end of the year for me for that percentage. Now, when we cut those checks on the referral, we're going to give them to you. So unless you give us the email that it goes to, you're going to get an email for Remax Long Beach LLC, and then to you, TC, your portion. Okay? And it's up to you to mail it, because I don't have postage here to mail your referral out. But we will cut the check. Any questions? We need a W-9 before we'll cut them a check. Yeah, because it stores in the file, and then we issue 1099s to those companies at the end of the year, just like we did you at 1099 for any income that you receive from us. Cool. All right, so that's it. We don't mail them out, we mail them out, and then W-9 is required for those checks are cut. So we'll remind you. Checks from clients. So sometimes you'll do lease listings. They're not called courtesy listings. I don't know where that ever came from because there's a contract that says you're listing something for them. So sometimes if you're listing a property for lease, the seller is going to pay you directly, right? So all those checks need to be written in Cornell with the LLC, and then we'll distribute it for that. That's $500 lease listing, and you're paying $300 to one agent. Just make sure you're covering yourself and you're covering the transaction. Everybody forgets that. Well, no, it's a courtesy listing. It's not a courtesy listing. You still did the work, you still did the contract, you've done the tenant. So I'm going to hold that file for 5 years. So that's $100 transaction fee. Okay. Any questions on checks from clients? This was landlords or tenants. They all come through. Not all checks come from title offices in this case. I do not have a trust account, so I can't hold money for you guys. Okay? I have a commission account and I have an operating account. That's it. So I don't have. You can't take somebody's $3,000 earnest money and give it to me, or they wrote it for $4. We don't do that. You put it in extra. Okay? Areas of expertise, make sure you guys aren't going out of your boundaries. I haven't signed off on state commercial agents in a while. So make sure you're not talking commercial or you're not doing property management. That seems to be all the cases at the division of public. That's why it's do not do walkthroughs for your client. You get them to sign off on it or waive it. Okay? You are not their authorized representative because it's a conflict. You want them to. You don't want to show up, walk the property. Hey, I walk it for you. You're good to go. They show up 4 days later from California, and it's not how you said it was. Someone broke a window, or now you're liable as a representative. So I don't allow you guys to do the walkthrough. Okay? No property management. That's what I want to get them to do. Office policies. You guys have access to the office. Usage of the computers. Door key or finger access starts at 6 a.m. and then it goes till midnight and then shuts off. So midnight to 6 a.m. There's no access. Okay. Otherwise, free reign. You guys have to keep up your license, which is LCs, 36 hours. That averages out to attending one a month, right? 2 years. Is that right? So just get in the habit of coming into a CD. You have it 3 hours out of your month. Because it's every 2 years.
Clarification, the, post licensing does not count towards your total CE, but your total CE does not start till you complete your post license, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And then once you complete it, your post counts for the year, I believe.
So,
Right, so you don't need any additional CE that first year.
No.
so you can't do a CD until you renew your license, and the earliest you can renew your license is 45 days.
And you can start your CE.
Oh, really? I thought it was, you have to renew your license.
But you can renew your license as early as you want. I think up to 30 days or 60 days prior.
45.
45? Something like that. So you can renew it sooner, but you can use the CE
Before that.
I believe, as long as it's after the post. Your first renewal. Yeah. I believe that's how it goes. We used to rush and get all of our CEs done, but 30 days before you do online courses. They kind of got rid of that now that we're at 36. So we're trying to get everybody in just the notion of going once a month, attending a class. We try to make it fun. We serve lunch. We have sponsors. They hand out prizes. You'll see like not a lot of other places do that because we want people to come in and enjoy it. It sucks. It's 3 hours.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. But part of the business, it keeps you up to speed. Anything new or change, you share with each other. So I think that was the whole concept of passing that law 3 years ago. Ethics, you guys will take ethics classes. So I do sit on the grievance panel, which is all of our ethics complaints, standards of practice 1 through 17, which you'll learn at the board, but that's National Association of Realtors also. Most of those complaints are petty. Someone treated me wrong, someone did such and such. Otherwise, it's arbitration where you're arguing over procuring costs, and that's just the straight money argument. So treat everybody fairly because you don't know who you're going to deal with on your next deal. I've worked with agents numerous times. And then if you have a bad experience, I save their number and the blacklist the agent. So that I remember what happened on the previous thing. So don't get on a blacklist agent. There's certain people that I would say, no, don't show my property. It's wrong, but I just know from 2 or 3 experiences why. All right, Code of Ethics National Association. You guys will take that because that's required. Sexual harassment, blah, blah, blah. You guys figure all that out. All right, advertising and marketing. You are required to have everything pre-approved before you send it out. I'm pretty easy. I don't require you guys, your logos, to, under any circumstances, be certain ways. I do require pornography. And the reason that is because it's a division regulation that they know where your license is originated. So it is Cornell Realty logo. It doesn't have to be the biggest, but it has to be the same size as your guys' logo, or equal to. And you have to have your license number on everything. Business cards, signs now require it, or you can get a writer with your license number on it. I think we still get away with a generic sign. Like generic signs with the office number on it because it's only directed back to the brokerage office. But all of your personal signs that you're trying to get lead capture, lead generation, QR codes, and all that stuff should have your state license attached to it, so they can track you no matter where you go. That was the reason for adding that. All right. Please do this so that the next people can see it. That's advertising and marketing. If you do videos and stuff, just send them to me that way. I say I saw it before it goes out. Make sure you guys are compliant. There's RESPA, people housing that you have to adhere to. Sometimes they take your CVs and put in video stuff, which you might violate something people housing and not know it, or could be a RESPA violation if you're doing something for something. So keep those in mind because those kind of govern how you guys do things. Transaction desk, MLS, and authentic sign. So authentic sign is your free digital signature. So when you create your transaction desk, you can actually send right to your client's website. I think most of I got an email today. They're increasing our board dues, but it looks like they're integrating DocuSign API into our system, which is kind of cool for DocuSign compatible now with our Propertybase. So once they get that rolled in, we might switch that off and assign to DocuSign. But they're increasing our local association dues by 20%, from 200 to 240. You got Nevada Association, or National Association, Nevada Association, and Las Vegas Association, which is due every January. It was like $700, now it's like $740. I just got that notification too. Everybody else should have got the same email, but I'll run through that. That's it. All right, so transaction desk. Anybody have any questions on that? Do you want me to look at transaction desk? Log in. I'll show you. Does everybody know how to log into Propertybase? Yeah. Okay. Then transaction desk is the green one. Boom. That's all of your documents and things you just create in there. And you can click the sign thing, that's all going to change. So things you are going to find. Okay.
Which one do you normally use to do it off?
The new one's a bit faster, but if you're just used to the first one, it doesn't matter. Because they're going to probably start training you at year 2 on DocuSign once they roll that in. And DocuSign is just drag and drop, just kind of like this.
But on both, they do one of those, you have to draw every spot. Like whatever they're supposed to find.
There should be templates in there. If you start it with a buyer template, then it will automatically populate those signature spots for the buyer. It's until you get all of your templates in order. You know, these templates in order. Yeah, and then they're already set. So the more templates you have, the better off you are. But not a lot of people remember. Like I still don't even remember the stuff before. Like they always ask me, "Do you want to save this template?" And I'm like, no, because it could be a different person signing something else.
Usually, it's for all your comments.
Mentions? Yeah. Why they like me. They know how much money they're making. Good. Did somebody else do it? I want to know how much money my clients make. I want to know how much they get paid. Right? So I do it on everyone. Just it's an old school thing. I don't know. I know how to do it. I continue to do it for 25 minutes. But it should be a good practice for you guys to be able to take these and know where to find this feedback. I'll do it. I can do it next week. Okay. Any questions on that and MLS? All right. We do have TC services here. Bonnie runs that for us. So the basic one, $100, we get everything uploaded for you into the system. $200 gets documents created for you that are required. And then we have a buyer concierge and a listing concierge. Listing concierge, we'll get a photographer out there, we'll put a sign out there for you. We will coordinate with the other agent. They're actually really handy if you don't get along with the other agent. We'll say, hey, can you concierge us? And then we'll coordinate with that agent and the lender to make sure you get closed on time or you guys get paid on time. Okay? So buyer concierge is, I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I can show right through it again. Buyer concierge is you hand us a contract. You use that in your residential disclosure guide and say, take it, close me. We'll help you schedule the inspector. We will help you get through due diligence with your homeowners association. We'll schedule with escrow so that that goes timely and schedules your buyer's signature, and then we'll coordinate with the lender on appraisals. And it takes a lot of hours off of your plate if you guys can use hard to it.
Is that service fee paid out of escrow or?
Cody. So if you receive your commission, then we just have a concierge.
It's just a line line.
Yep. Whether it's TC or whatnot. TC just takes a lot off too, because she can create documents and send them directly through your authentic site. Through our brokerage portal. I can name it to you guys and send it. So it looks like it's coming through. And you create that. If you're needing an addendum done, it's done closing or you're needing an addendum to extend due diligence, you can send it directly from transaction desk, like it's coming through you. You just push it and send it. That's part of the concierge. That's it. And then there's a la carte. So on we have those lists available if you guys want to use them. A la carte, you do like videos if you want to like walk through videos, now reports if you want to just read for it. Those are going to be a la carte. You can include those on top of the listed concierge. Okay. Broker compensation form. So this is one of I guess a favorite. The agent here. Just like that, right? So make sure you guys fill these out quickly. So the misconception that the public gets from agents is, when you charge them a $500 transaction fee, or $600, $700, $800, whatever you're charging. Realistically, I'm only charging them $100, right? That's honestly what you can say is corner realty. If it's a broker fee, the most you can do is $100. Unless you have the TC and the buyer concierge. Then you can put it all on me and say that I'm charging you this transaction fee. Okay? So if you are using those services, then you're not. So if you did a listing concierge, then by all means charge them $100. Okay, so put it at corner of the charging because I am collecting it. Okay. Now, if you, the agent, are charging a $500 transaction fee, and you're only paying me $100, $100 goes here, and then In addition, Joe Smith charges clients through their 400, which is 500, 4 plus 100. This covers office expenses and everything. So we created this, we had it approved by the division, and you can use that if you wanted to charge additional fees, because it's full disclosure. Don't put 500 here and expect me to give you that $500, because I'll keep it. Because that's what it says. So make sure you fill that one out properly. So, broker compensation form, if you use it, it's fine. If you don't charge them anything, don't use it. One less form you have to do. You pay $100. Okay? But if you are charging additional fees, this is the proper way to do it.
So the people are allowed to do this, on the
Buyer brokerage agreements, different. Yeah. So this is an additional fee. So this would come into play if you are receiving compensation from the seller. So you're the buyer, right?
Yeah, so I created a VA for my client, right? So on one of the lines, it's asking for what,
Commission
and then.
and
transaction line.
transaction fee.
Right, and then, so if you put that there, then you.
So that's an agreement between the brokerage and the client, right? Right. So now you're saying that I am collecting the 500, so you have to disclose where that money is going.
Okay.
So this would be at closing time. If you're going to give me that full $500, then that form is fine. But if it's going
Okay.
into a pocket and I'm only getting 100, then you need to disclose
Okay.
this portion. That's what this form is for. It's transaction fee.
Yeah, I need to explain that to the buyer, because the buyer is both like, usually they think we're not paying this, yeah, they're not paying it.
Right. Well, it's a transaction fee. You have to explain it. If you're going to charge them a transaction fee, what it's for. This is the best right here because you've broken it down. Office expenses, administrative, postage, marketing materials, and your assistant fee. So it does work. I think that's it. So just be fair on what you charge them. Like a lot of people do it if they're you're only receiving like 1.5% or 2%, then you charge them a transaction fee and they get that discount. But the misconception on that and what I don't want circling back to me because this comes back to me in ethics complaints. Right? Well, this agent lied to you. Why are we lying to clients? We don't need to lie to clients. Right? That doesn't establish a relationship. So if you're completely honest with the client, they're going to return to you and they're going to keep coming back. So just establish what your worth is, what you're willing to take to work for it. There's no trickery in this business. It's full disclosure, and that's our job. Right? Treat people ethically and disclose. That's it. And then you'll have repeat clients over and over. So that is how this is done. Unless you're paying the brokerage for TC concierge, and then you can put that number in the pot.
But what would you explain to your buyer? So, a lot of the retail, or even the retail, co-op, like, on the VA, you're like, this is my commission, my charge here, and then.
That's what I get paid for.
Yeah, but then, like, when you, take the buyers out on the phone, and you find out that this is exactly what,
Sure.
yeah, it's like,
It's going to change. It's going to reverse back right now. I mean, you're getting iBuying out of the which means we're no longer cruising up the hill, right? Everybody's cruising up the hill, everybody's flipping property, everybody's making money, and then they're foreseeing, well, crap, we can't do this anymore. Because we're at the top of the hill and we're looking around and holding whatever we're holding right now. What's going to happen? Do we go down? Do we create a rope to go to the top of that hill? Or what's going to happen? So they're backing out. It's going to come back to a more traditional market where you actually They're getting compensated for your work if you explain it correctly. So we shouldn't have these issues anymore. It turns into, it's a greed factor that says, well, I don't need you to sell this property to an agency. I don't need you, so I'm only gonna offer, 1.5%, just so I'm fair and cooperative. Right? Or a $500 flat fee, so I'm fair and cooperative. It changes though when you hold all the buyers and they can't get the property themselves. Right? So it's just ebb and flow, that's how real estate goes. So you roll with it. It's not always going to be that way. So I try to tell people, don't get in that mindset because it's always going to be offers at $500 or $1,000 compensation. Because the moment this goes to this, guess what happens on your new home building commission? And I collected 8%, 7%. So it goes back. So just treat your client as your relationship, and it will flow back to you. Yeah, the moment they can't sell a house, and I'm already getting emails, hey, we have this available, at 3%, 4% co-op, then you'll start seeing 5%, and you're like, what's going on? Then you see a 6%, and you're like, ah, it's very enticing to move my client to the Southwest or whatever. Or they'll pay all the closing costs. So it changes. You just don't get stuck in that mentality of sort of thinking that way. But I get it, and you're not getting paid enough. My thing right off the bat is whatever. We're going to give you 2%. We're going to take you 2%. I'm going to show my client, yeah, I only got 2%. I've already got that closing, and I only got 2%, and you need a 3 referral. Because the 3 referrals are worth more than that 1%. That your client will. Hey, look, this is on the meeting with you from the next 30 days. Because they have moved in. Help me recruit. Not only recruit more business, but you're going to recruit it back. Because there'll be another 3. It's the one thing that agents forget. Show up at closing with 2 cards. You don't need any more than that. Do me a favor. I need 2 referrals in the next 2 months. Can you help me out with that?
So you're going to go park the clients then?
It's up to you. I mean, that's your business. My business is different.
No, I'm asking you what you do.
If there's no commission,
Yeah.
I'll charge it. Say there's no commission, you might ship it in at 2 points. Or 1 point. Such a compensation for my clients. For the most part, if one of my clients that is buying something that's no commission involved, it's because it's like they're buying it as an investment or something. I'm going to recoup it on the sale. I'm going to recoup it. I'm going to resell it. Or it depends on what they resell. I like first-time home buyers, but I don't love them. That makes any sense to you. Mm-hmm. Because they fine if they're good, but they're just not savvy. Sometimes they don't listen. I don't work with a lot of first-time home buyers. I was going to start doing first-time home buyer seminars in here. If you guys want those released, you want to have your hammers out and do classes on home ownership. One of my clients' office building. The guy that was in there was a non-profit, and all he did was educate community and lower income families on how to take advantage of programs. As a nonprofit, he's done well. He trains people in trade at their businesses. His nonprofit has done so well. He's expanded from renting a 5,000 square foot office space to buying a 12,000 square foot building. He's moving and creating all of these programs to help the community. So we're a smaller scale here. That can fit 25 people in here from 3 or 4 different apartment complexes around it. Teaching wealth building versus dumping the money into the apartment building.
You have to do it with
They're a lot of work, aren't they? And they don't have money, right?
They think they can get like, yeah, they think they can get so much.
But I'll save them all for you. I'll keep paying you all of the first time home buyers.
Quick question?
Yep.
In, in this market, are buyer representation agreements prevalent? I do a lot of those,
Yeah. That's
Okay.
what she's talking about, BBA.
Okay.
Okay. You said like 3 in the last week or something. I remember signing a few of them.
Are they typically net? In other words, if you sign the buyer broker agreement at, say, 3% or 2.5% or whatever, and the co-broke is 2.5%, if the net is only with service buyer? Okay.
And it states that you can take portions from the seller. And then there's a couple ways that you can change it even further. I don't know if you guys know put on the so on the purchase agreement, even when you write your offers, so in the revised one, so say the agent shoulder, whatever, under, and I'm hoping you guys are reading all these and memorizing these, so you should be able to explain this concept to your client before writing it. On closing fees. So this was altered in December of 2020. So seller will contribute percentage, right? So reflecting if you buyers, lender's fees, including and excluding costs, bonuses, loan programs, blah, blah, blah. Recurring and non-recurring that include brokerage commissions. They added that in for you guys because of the scenario where you need to negotiate a higher commission. They're only offering you $500. So you can put that shortage in there and request it on the offer. It doesn't make you a stronger offer, but it has to be presented to the seller so the seller understands. That's why I need to contribute a little bit more to make this happen. You can if the new build will allow you to write on this contract. Most new builds want it on this particular contract. Well, here's my scenario on new home builds. Hey, KB Homes, how are you today? Great. I have a client that's interested in coming to view your subdivision. What is your cooperative? Yeah. And they say, well, do you have a buyer that's ready to go? Yes. Well, we can do 2.5%, or 2%, whatever it is. Or we only charge $500 flat fee. And then you can go back to your client and say, hey, if I take you to the subdivision, it's a $500 flat fee, so I gotta get them to contribute 2% in order to make it work. Or, towards your closing costs. So it's going to take away from what I can negotiate for them to contribute towards your closing costs. So it's how you present it to your client. But before you go, call them. Don't expect commission. Call them and find out. And I think that's what we're missing in today's market. You gotta get the research on the website.
Yeah, tomorrow, this is looking at how, and tomorrow I'm doing that video agreement, or the video, because I'm the buyer, there's no capacity to tell them.
Which is fine. Yeah. And then just ahead of time, slow your clients down. That's all I can say. That's all I can, that's the best advice I can do. Slow them down. Because otherwise they're going to run wild. It's like you ever train a dog. And if you let them fool you, right, they'll never learn. So just slow them down. And be like, hey, let's meet on Saturday. Let me do the research this week on some new home builds. And we'll take you to 3 or 4 subdivisions. At this point, that gives you a few days to call those subdivisions before you go on Saturday. Okay? You just slow them down. That's my only suggestion. And then if you are negotiating with an agent that's only offering a small percentage, put it in there. And then go into additional terms. Okay. I get that you're not supposed to negotiate commission, but you can disclose to the seller that MLS only provides a 0.5% or flat $500 commission. Because I think a lot of agents that do that aren't disclosing to their clients that that's all they're offering, which is a violation. But we're a self-policing cooperative. So that's how I would police it. I would say cooperative and MLS. That's no. You're just making a statement. They should know that, right? And then when you get your commission order, you say buyer is paying, $2,000 towards commission. Send a copy of the MLS to you. Attached. You're not allowed to give them the T-sheet because it has access to the property. That's the reason why we don't give it to you. But you can take the T-sheet and be like, this is the cooperative that's being offered, just so you know. It's 2%. So for our agreement, it's 1% shy, so I can ask the seller to pay for it by putting it in here. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, I can have you guys pay it directly. Honest conversation, that's it. That's as easy as it is. Okay, so that's it. I took up a little bit more time, but I'm going to bring Nels in to run through accounting. So payroll, e-checks, how they work, if they work, W-9s, how you guys do your 1099s, and all of that jazz. And then Bonnie's going to come in and walk you guys through opening files. Okay, really simple though. Any questions for me right now? Nope. Nels, you're up.
Thank you, Cory.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then if you guys, everybody has my cell number, right? Mm-hmm. So text me, call me. I usually answer unless I'm doing something like this, and then I call you guys within 30 minutes. I'm going to return all these calls when I leave here.
How many you have there?
Two voicemails, 2 text messages.
That's not too bad.
So now you're taking over. I'm out of here. Do you need anything on the screen?
No, I'm good right here. First of all, I'd like to start by saying welcome aboard. Welcome to the family. Thank you. Okay. Thanks, Cory. Thanks, guys.
My name is Nels Bloyer, and I partnered up with Cory because we got tired of being at a big brokerage, and it kind of turned corporate and lost its family feel and fun. So we like to keep it drama free.
Amen to that.
I pretty much do the day-to-day operation stuff. So anything to do with like 1099s, your paychecks, W-9s, licensing, things like that, I can. I'm the guy to see. First of all, I'd like to start off with saying that your checks are your independent contractors. So at the end of the year, you get a 1099 from us. Throughout the year, if you guys are buying cars or houses or things like that, and you do need a statement showing you where you're at year to date, you can come see me and I can give you that printout at any time. We get that a lot. Agents are buying cars all the time or leasing or whatever you guys are doing, and you need proof of that, come see me. I can take care of that. And the paychecks, just to let you know, the way we cut checks here are very fast and quick. Say if you guys were closing a deal today, and I got that check deposited today before 5, I can have you paid out tomorrow by 9. Okay, because all of our accounts with the title companies have all been seasoned long enough that I can have you paid within less than 24 hours. And the way that check is distributed is on an e-check. So if you are on vacation, we'll notify you that, hey, check your email. Or if you don't want it sent on an email, you can tell me to print it. I can print it and give it to you, or put it in your mailbox. That's up to you. But I mean, a lot of people, live across town, and that's why we try to be as tech savvy as we can be and think down the road, because a lot of people, more than half our agents are over there in Henderson, and we see them twice a year. Because the way everything's set up, and we make it so easy for you guys to do a transaction that you be on vacation, you live over there, all you do is open up your email, print it, you can screenshot it if your bank allows that, or just take it right into the bank, however you want to do that. So it's an e-check, and like I say, I can have the dispersed within 24 hours, as long as your file is complete with bonding. Okay, your check can come in today, and I can have a deposit before 5, and it's ready to go tomorrow. But until bonding gives me the green light that your file is complete, not until stop. So if everything is intact, we can have you paid in less than 24 hours. And that's one thing that we really strive that we're quick at. We don't play around with that. And then when we do send it to you in an email, you have to remember this though, it is time sensitive. If you open up that email, you get distracted for about 20 minutes, it's not going to happen. It's going to shut down for security reasons, and you guys are going to call and go, I can't print my check. Well, you should have taken that phone call, you should have did your nails and do whatever if we do send it to you through the email, make sure that is your priority right then and there to print it up. Because if not, then you have to void the check, have to send out a new one, or have to print it, or do something like that.
But it can sit in your email till the end of the day whenever you open it.
Right. It's as long as you can actually open it up and see what it is. But if you take it to the next point after that, when it says you are ready to print and do all that stuff like that, make sure your printer's got ink in it. Make sure all that's fine. Because if not, then that's what's going to happen. Go, phone print, this happened, that happened. But yeah, you can leave it sitting in your email for a month, whatever. You can even open it up. But once you take it to the next level and you're going to start the process, then it's time sensitive. So, but like I say, if it does happen, it's no big deal. I can print it. I can send out new ones, just avoiding it and all kinds of stuff like that. No big deal. Next thing I'll touch base on, if you guys are doing a referral through another agent, whatever it is, another entity, it is up to you as the agent, okay, to make sure that you get a W-9 from whoever you're doing referral business with, and it's also up to you then to make sure they get paid, okay? Because that is technically, that referral is kind of also your bread and butter, okay? So if you have a relationship with, say, someone in another brokerage, whatever you're partnered up on, whatever it is, that is up to you. I will send you another email with their check. It's up to you then to mail it or get that agent or that other entity that you have a referral with to get paid. It's not up to our brokerage. It's up to you.
Is there a spot for that, to upload that doc? Is there a spot in there?
The W-9, you just want to, Bonnie's got them on file. There are some in the back office there that they will have to fill out. But like I say, it's up to you to get them paid, not us. Okay, because that's your business outside the brokerage. So what we'll do is we'll cut it to whatever it is, John Doe LLC, but I'll also email that to you as well, and it's up to you to print it or do whatever or communicate with them. They can come by the office and pick it up. I can print it up, put an envelope for them, but it's up to you to find out how you want that referral funds dispersed. Okay. The next thing is we're going to talk about is the state business license. Got to have a state business license before you can have a county business license. If you're coming over from another brokerage and the brokerage is not in the county, it's in the city, you're going to have to get a county license. Okay, and the state license, when you go down and get that, if you're a first timer, it's going to cost you $180, and the state license is always renewed on the day you go down and get a new license. Where the county license is always due on the renewal is always March, like the 21st of March. So it doesn't matter. Like if you went today to go get a county license, they would prorate it. But then again, in March on the 21st, then it would be due. Okay, where the state business license is always due when they initiate it. But the county license is always due, it doesn't matter what business it is, they always take it, I believe it's on March 21st. But like I say, if you were to go get a county license in the next few days, they would prorate it, because of course, it's only 4 or 5 more months till it's March, and that county license is $150. Okay, so if you were at another brokerage and it was in the city and they made you have the city license, that doesn't work over here. We have to have a county license. I mean, I'll tell you this right now, if you don't have the county license, you didn't hear from me, but you might want to hold off and just renew it in March, or get one in March. But you have to have a state business license in order to go get a county license. They've gotten smart now because people were getting around that. So now guess what? The state gets theirs first, and then the county or city's next. You can't go the other way around. And as soon as, because when you go down to the county, they're going to ask, where's a copy of your state?
So it's either county or city?
So we're in the county now. This
Okay.
building, yes, you have to have a county license. But I'm saying if you were at another brokerage and that was in the city, it's no good anymore. Over here, we reside in the county, so the county wants their cut as well. So we have to have a city or the state business license, and then we'll have to also have a county. But I'm just saying this off the record. The county always renews in March. So you might want to hold off till March, save yourself $150, and then go in March and get one. Because if you go now, yes, they'll prorate it, but they're not really going to come beating on the door, chasing you down right away. The city will, or the state. We can't even do anything really without the state. I can't even issue basically a payroll check without the state license.
And the state is on the anniversary.
The state, whenever you go down to get it, if you went there today after we got done talking, it would be a year from today.
How much is that? I'm not doing
180. Unless it's an LLC, then an LLC, I believe, is 300. But if it's a sole proprietor business license, meaning just you, it's not an LLC, that's 180.
Yeah, about that. I was trying to go from sole to the LLC.
Well, the LLC does have a lot of perks to it.
Yeah, so I should wait till the anniversary date?
No, if you're going to do that,
Because I already paid the 180.
right, but they should be able to change it over for you. You might want to let them know. They'll give you a credit down there and that you're changing it over towards that. I know that's what they've done before. And then what will happen then is once you do set up the LLC, then we'll also want to take that state business license that has your LLC on it, and then you can go to the real estate division and then have them change it at the division. Now you're, instead of just being straight John Doe, now you're John Doe LLC, okay? Which then, once that new real estate license comes in, we'll take a copy of it, do away with the old one, put that in the file, and then all your checks, instead of, being just cut to John Doe, now it's John Doe LLC, whatever,
Now
okay?
how do I find out if I have county or city license?
What do you have, different brokerage?
Yes.
What brokerage was that?
KW,
Where was it across
Keller
streets?
Williams, it was in some of them, Charleston.
Oh, yeah, that's city up there.
Was that?
That was city,
That was city, so I need county.
county.
So I will.
It's close, because Sahara can be the cutoff, because I know it still should be city. You can call the county and ask them, but because I know right over there it kind of gets kind of iffy, cookie cutter-ish, but
March then,
you can do that. Because if not, like I say, if you go down there right now, they're just going to prorate it, and instead of paying, them taking 150 right now, it'd probably be like 90,
Yeah.
or just hold off and wait till March. But that's when we're going to come around and go, hey, it's March now. Does everybody have their license? Okay. I don't know if Cory touched on it. Also, one thing that we have here that we'd like to let you guys know about is we have a program called Bring 4, Pay No More.
Was that?
Bring 4, Pay No More.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay. You touched on that a little bit? Okay. And then here's what I'm going to touch on, which I hate to do this because this is what I end up having to do. If there's any fines, those are gonna come out of a transaction. If there's fines owed, whether it be an E&O fine or some type of fine, we're not gonna go chasing money. I mean, yes, we can say this is owed, yes, you can cut us a check, but if you read everything on your paperwork, we have the right to take it out of a transaction, so we're not chasing money. And also, if you're a new agent, let me touch on something different here. If you're a new agent, remember, you have 30 days, this is very important, 30 days to join LVR. 30 days. I mean, if you already joined LVR, that's fine. But if you're a new agent, you haven't joined LVR yet, you have 30 days. And this is very important because about the 40th day, it's like a $250 fine. And about the 60th day, it's a $500 fine. It's not on us. They're going to get their money because guess what? You're going to have to join LVR. If you haven't joined LVR, they're going to get theirs, and that fine keeps going up and up and up and up and up. So you've been told, you've been warned. I know Cory said it, but I'm telling you, it's 30 days if you haven't joined, because it was usually about the 25th day we get a notice, and then we let you know, hey, you need to join. And guess what? They know because they talk to the real estate division. As soon as you get the division, like TC, they already start shooting you information over there. So they already know as well. So there's no running from the LVR. Just like you get your state business license, there's no running from the city and county because they all communicate now. And it's really bad right now since last year through COVID, they kind of gave everybody a pass. So now they're making up for it. Now they're finding everybody. They want to get paid. Okay. And another thing I want to touch on is if you guys are currently active agents, we do have a class a couple times a year, and it's a security class. It's a good one to take, but the one thing I want to touch on that I've seen happen with newer agents is a lot of you forget to turn off your Bluetooth. And what you'll find out when you take these security classes, if you do, they count as a general CE, that most of your info, 99.9% of the time, gets hacked because you left your Bluetooth on. And remember, with these new Century Smart locks that we have on the homes, you have to access your Bluetooth to remotely open up that. Okay, so once you get done for the day showing you, or if you're done with that client, just think about turning off that Bluetooth, even in the car and things like that. Because what I've learned, and we usually have the class like once a quarter, is that's how everybody's stuff is getting hacked. It's literally off the Bluetooth. That's, you're in a lot of times you're hanging at Starbucks and, you got the free Wi-Fi, but yet your Bluetooth's on and we don't know who's sitting there doing whatever they do. Like I say, I'm not a techie guy, but that's what I've learned is that leaving that Bluetooth on is all bad. It can just, it's a careless thing, but to those cyber criminals out there, they're loving it, So that's one thing that I want to bring to note. Because it happens to me sometimes, and I look at my phone and go, oh my God, how long did I leave the Bluetooth on? What, I get all freaked out about it. But just to let you guys know, that's where a lot of your data and stuff is being stored from. And here is one more thing that I want to touch on. Money owed to the brokerage. For whatever reason, it could be your monthly due, your yearly dues, your office rents, whatever it may be. Okay, we give about a 30-day on that, and then if you have a transaction coming in, you'll notice your transaction is going to be short that money that's owed. Okay, not in the business of chasing money, but again, it'll show up in your transaction that, oh, I had an office, my office rent's $500. Well, yeah, it shows it's paid now, but also your transaction, your payment is $500 left. Okay, so we always give invoices, we give many different ways to pay things, but if there's something that's owed to the brokerage is getting paid first. That is what it is. And that's about it for me. Is there any questions you guys got? Anything on?
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
Did you say that it's mandatory to have a state business license?
State business license. You will not get a county license at all without the state. It's gonna go state,
Oh, because we are mandatory to have a county license here.
right, but in order to get a county license, you'd have to have the state. The state wants theirs first, and then the county. And that's what's gonna happen. You'll find out if you go about it the wrong way, like you try to go to join LVR right now, LVR's go, wait a minute, we're still waiting for your license to come through from the division. Same thing, it goes division, LVR, state, then county. And they all communicate with, the state will communicate with the county, real estate division communicates with LVR.
Oh,
Drawing.
LVR didn't make me have a state business license.
No. LVR, the real estate division talks to LVR. So as soon as you became a licensed agent, LVR already knew clock's ticking. Ding, 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 ding. 30 days, he hasn't came. 40th day, $250 fine. So then when you've gone down on your 40th day, you go, well, I want to join. They go, okay, it's going to be $500, plus the $250 late fee because you got your license over 40 days ago. Those two talk. Now the state business license and the county talk. But they don't, the state business license and county, they don't talk with, the LVR and the real estate division. Totally separate. These two up here, those are down there. Okay? So remember that. And that's about it for me, guys. And if you ever need anything, like I say, I'm Nels. I'm just the office right behind Bonnie. They're usually from 9 to 4 in the afternoon. I can help you out with a lot of, even some of the real estate questions you might have. Of course, down the back, he's busy. I can answer those as well. I just can't sign off on anything. But that's about it for me. And like I say, welcome aboard.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mitch.
thank you. Very nice. Next one, oh boy, Bonnie's gonna give it to you. Bonnie, do your thing.
Does anybody have to go tinkle? No? Everybody's okay?
Sounds like how I talk to my grandkids.
Well, I don't mean to, treat you like a grandchild. Cory did not, let's see. Let me see. Oh. Is he on here now? Propertybase, no? Okay, this is a little strange.
Bonnie,
Yes.
one second, excuse me, guys, one second.
Yeah.
Is this the new?
Yeah, that's his combination. Actually, went ahead and separated it. Because that was a separate report that AutoCAD.
I'm not gonna
No,
do-
we were all confused on that one.
Okay, thank you.
But we got it fixed. So I know TC has been in there. I know Serena has been in there. Fish, I know that Rose does a lot of yours for the group, right?
Yeah, but I am familiar with them.
You are familiar with Propertybase?
She's not gonna do no rental for us. No leases.
Oh, so you're gonna have to go in yourself.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay, all right. I am not in the right.
Wait, are you doing the Cornell Rosie one? Or which one's this?
Well, it's Propertybase, but because it's not logged in. It's oh,
Yeah, Cory was in there.
was he? And then he logged out, right?
So does the Cornell.backagent.net, is that still gonna direct us there or not?
Yeah. Well, and I always suggest to you guys that once you get the address there, your search, save it to your tool as a favorite.
You said that I was using the old one.
You were, yeah. I've been sending out in the emails the new link.
Yeah.
I'm not sure from your point of view because I'm going in as admin. So I have a different point of view on my end because I have access to everything.
Yeah, and I can't tell if it's old or new.
So I would have to sit on one of yours and actually find out. That's why I've been emailing out the link to make it a little easier for you guys. So once you get in there, then save it to your favorites.
Yeah, I thought.
And then you can access it.
I thought it was doing that.
Okay, this is gonna make me mad. Where is? Oh my goodness. Notify us. No. I'm supposed to be back office. Okay, back office. This is not right.
Can you go to his history?
I'm not there. I don't know. Hold on one second. Hey, Nels, can you go get Cory for me? Sorry, guys. Okay, so while I'm waiting on Cory, so we are going to take up at Propertybase/back agent. So opening your file, and some of this might be a little bit of repeat because the guys tend to kind of go off on other stuff. So opening up your files, 5 business days. Per the division, it is 5 calendar days. Cory allows you 5 business days, excluding holidays. So you actually get a little extra time, okay? The importance of making sure that you are opening up your files within a proper time and uploading agreements is in case they need to talk to the broker. So you might have a client, or it might be the client on the other side, who knows, calling the broker, maybe to complain, whatever the case may be, but you got to make sure the file's open. If it is not, when you go to close on the file, you will be fined $225. Okay? And it's being done because people still aren't getting it right. Let's see. You do have access on your phone. So when the time comes and you guys get in there, if you can't figure it out, I can help you. That is one thing I can do. But you can actually link it to your phone, and you can actually, when you're out and about on your phone, you can log into Propertybase. You can upload everything. If you have stuff on your phone saved, you can do it that way as well. Okay. Let's see. Let's skip over a couple of things here. How am I getting onto Propertybase here? Were you on here?
I just signed you out because I was looking for something.
Oh, there you go. So you guys are looking for the white couch with the white drapes. That is the new 4.0.
You want mine or you log in yours?
No, go ahead and log into yours. Doesn't matter. We have the same access.
I know, but I was working that like week. No. It asked me to log out of this one.
Oh.
When I went in there, see?
Okay, well, I'll log in. Okay, I'll log in.
Never.
Never.
Don't save it there. It worked out fine.
So how come our username has to be Bonnie?
No, yours is going to be you.
No, I'm logging you. Bonnie on the way.
Huh?
Huh?
You should have got your own user.
Yeah, look. Like when I log in, it has I'm logging in.
You should change your username. Is it your own file or is it her file? Because you're gonna have like.
Yeah, if you were logging in under me, you'd be.
Yeah, at first I was like, can I change my username? Okay.
Claudia, have you logged into Property?
Yeah.
Fish, have you been in here yet?
I'm in right now.
Oh, look at you, how special. And I know you've been working. You've got okay. Minwan, I don't know if you can see me. Hopefully you've been in there doodling as well. Because see, all that should have came directly through Propertybase, right from her name, from when I inputted their information. So it should say Serena.Navigato, and then you,
That's
I
what,
mean, that's her email, but she has you as
yeah,
the,
that was my first email, it's like, can I
the
change
username.
the username?
Yeah, and you should be able to.
It says request.
are you going in there for the first time right now?
No, I was gonna change it because it has my old email as my username and I wanna change it to my new email.
Okay, so I have to do that on my end,
Right.
under admin, so let's take care of that before you leave me today. Okay.
Should I send the request or not?
No,
I'll just do it.
no, I'll just do it. Okay, so anywho, of course, this looks really, really large.
That's it, she said that.
Yes, it's good.
So up here, you've got start. So your start page, of course, we've got people kind of shuffling through here. You can go in. They're all directed to a link. So if you have questions, all their information is in there. These are companies that advertise on here, and they're also on the wall out in the hallway. You can use any of this information here. If you were to click, and if you go into Facebook, you'll see that I've already done this. You can actually copy and paste this link if you guys are using social media, but you can use any of this information. I know there's a couple other agents here that do.
Yeah, but you have to pay for it.
For this, no, you automatically have this. As soon as you log in, you should have this as your start page.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is this information here you can use to advertise yourself on your social media pages.
Yeah, I tried to do that, but I think that it says you have to pay for it.
No, you shouldn't have to. It's all free.
Try it again.
It's all free. And then you've got Realtor Magazine stuff over here. So if you were to go in here, just copy and paste the links. And you can use this stuff to advertise yourself.
Do we have to copy and paste the link or can we screenshot like?
I do the link up here at the top. And so if you go into the Facebook page, you'll see how it looks on your end. And I
Like
just,
Instagram is different, I don't know.
I don't know how it works on Instagram. I am not an Instagram girl, no. So then here you've got your, there's some trading videos over here. You can go into this as well. Connect here. Now, bear with me. I am still learning to navigate through this new 4.0. So some of this stuff you guys are not going to see in the same way. You're going to see it a little differently because, again, I'm under admin, you are not. Okay? But calendar. You guys should be able to go in and you should be able to see things on the calendar. If you go up here, now this is me for added events. Again, this is crazy. Now, where is, anywho, I put stuff on here. CE classes, Thanksgiving potluck coming up, when the office is closed. So you should be able to log in there and you should be able to look on the calendar and see things that way, okay? There is a way. Nope. See, I haven't had to touch everything just yet, so some of this I'm still learning myself, guys. I do apologize. Oh, show filters here.
Oh, it says you're going out of town tomorrow.
I am. I fly out at 7:30.
Where are you going?
Virginia.
Oh,
My son plays hockey there. So I haven't seen him since August. I'm going to go say hi, give him loves, watch him play some hockey. But this way you guys you can actually narrow down. Hello. Hi. This is Miss Carlina, one of our agents. Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna leave this on the desk for you.
Oh, Nels is in there. You can go ahead and give it to him. So this way you can narrow stuff down. And also in the calendar, you should be able to find your own stuff in the calendar when it comes to when you open up transactions. So you'll have things come up that will tell you when you have any of your dates that you've inputted. It'll tell you when you're closing escrow, when your due diligence, all these different breakdowns of your deadlines will also be on the calendar, okay? So this is my view. Otherwise, it would be just your transactions. So for instance, this one here is getting paid out today. Summary page, you have all these breakdowns here. And you know what? I'm actually going to go to one that, let's see, we've got one that just opened here. So see how you've got the orange. Anything that's ever going to be in orange is basically going to tell you that it needs to be filled in. It will not let you get to the end of your transaction and fill out the funding request until all the orange is gone. Okay? If you don't know what the answer is to the orange, if it's a referral or a rental or something that's easy, again, those are simple because they're referral checks. They're not, we don't need specifics. So just put in whatever the closest date you can. When it comes to resale or new construction, you're going to have all the proper dates. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to put everything in. And again, if you have questions, reach out and ask. But you can go up here. This will actually highlight the different sections as you're going throughout the process of your closing, okay? No, it doesn't let me, oh, it does let me take it away. So people, basically, you're gonna fill in this instance, they're representing the seller, you're gonna fill in your seller's information, your information, if you have a TC, and who your title company is once you have a buyer. Buyer's going to go here, buyer's agent here, maybe their TC, you might want to add another box for their TC, but you're basically just going to go here, put the information in. If you don't have an email, mark the box, add new contact. It's pretty simple as far as that's concerned. Details. Here's all your questions. And again, anything that's highlighted in orange must be answered. And a lot of this stuff, the reason why it needs to be answered is because it's going to dictate your documents tab. And this is where it's telling you everything that's needed to upload. Okay? So when you go to details, when your listing agreement took place, when it expires, key information, 1978 or earlier. That's your lead disclosures. So if you're working on a house, and we have some agents that work in specific areas with investors that are before 1978, you have to have a lead disclosure. So if you mark that this is, before 1978, in your documents tab, it's going to actually auto-populate a tab for you to upload your lead disclosure. Okay, if you mark no worries, it won't be there, okay? The HOA-CIC, well, 90-something% of this town is HOA-CIC, so almost all the time it's going to be marked yes. If it's marked yes, it's going to auto-populate in your documents tab a CIC receipt that everybody needs to initial off that they got all the HOA, all the breakdowns, the bylaws and everything. And what is the other thing that auto-populates in there? CIC receipt. Oh, and the did you know before you buy in a CIC community. It's a 4-pager that they just have to sign. Okay, so those two tabs will auto-populate in your documents. Okay, and of course, another important, is there a referral fee? Sometimes people are going to refer someone to you, especially maybe out of state. This is where you're going to upload the referral agreement and the W-9. So if we're paying somebody that referred you, so Claudia, say you do commercial and Fish has somebody and he doesn't want to do commercial and he says, hey, Claudia, can you take this client for me? I'll take a little referral fee off of it. You guys are going to do a referral fee. If he were with a different agency, you'd need a W-9 in there. You would upload the referral agreement and the W-9 because when the title company sends the check, I have to have a W-9 with the address knowing where we're going to send that check because everybody has to be paid through their brokerage. You can never take money from a client. Everything has to go through your brokerage. Okay?
I have one that's a referral, but it did auto-populate, that.
It won't unless you answer this yes. So is it another agent that's referring you?
Yes.
Okay, so you and that agent should have a 2-page referral filled out.
We have,
Okay, brokers on both sides should have signed it. You each have signed it. And then you need a W-9 from that agent with that referral. So when you close escrow and you get your check, they're gonna get whatever your agreement is.
yeah, so I didn't see a line for a broker.
So, well, it depends. Sometimes the agreements are a little different depending on the state. Is it somebody from out of state? Oh,
It's a commercial.
oh, okay, all right. They possibly have their own. Sometimes it asks for brokers to sign. You can always just have your broker sign too. It's always just that extra step, that extra measure, which is okay, all right? But this will auto-populate a referral. And there's another question in here as well. If, is the buyer's agent also a member of your brokerage? Now, this is not highlighted in orange, but it's an important question. Because if there is, and or if you are working on both sides of the transaction, you need a consent to act form. So that will auto-populate as well. Because you have to have the buyer and the seller sign off that they're okay with it. Okay, so you've also got your questions down here as far as what the contract sales price is going to be once you have a purchase agreement. And so my key that I look for when the closing package comes in, I'm always checking the sales price. The only time that's ever really going to change is if the appraisal comes in and if the price changes or what have you. A lot of times where that's different is going to be new construction. That'll always change with new construction because of extras that are added on. And then I always look at the actual, you're going to have your contract closing date, and then you're also going to have your actual closing date. Your closing date on the contract does not include addendums. So you're going to put here whatever your purchase agreement and or if you've got a counter offer. Anything after that, there's got to be an addendum in there to match the actual closing date. That's what I look for as far as closing date. So if you get to this, broker compensation and invoice form. Did Cory go over that at all with you guys? Okay, so you saw the copy that I gave you. All right. So that I don't have to do that again. But that is what would go here. If you are not charging a single penny, go in here, hit request exemption and put on here not charging. Now, some agents will still like to put it in front of their client and they would still like to show them, I'm gonna pay it. So if that's the case and you have them sign it, I would upload it. Anything that has a signature, you should always upload it. Did you have a question?
We don't collect it. Cory's still collecting it. It just comes
Well,
out.
it's coming out of your commission.
Right.
Yeah, somebody's paying for it.
Somebody
That's
pays.
any
Exactly.
brokerage. That's
It
any
doesn't just
brokerage.
go away.
The nice thing is though, is at Cornell Realty, it's only $100. Everywhere else, it's gonna be more. Nobody has $100.
Ours is 5 times that in Ohio.
What?
$500.
Well, no, you have that here. Simply Vegas, Urban Nest, there's a lot of them that have that as well. And again, if your clients don't pay, it's coming out of your
It's coming
commission.
from somewhere.
It's coming from somewhere. So that's another reason why you want to belong here, because if you're going to have to eat it and your client says, no, I'm not paying anything, well, at least it's only $100, right? So let's see, duties owed, listing agreement, SRPD, and Claudia, like I said, when we have a chance, we'll go through all these docs together. Serena, I think you've got a good feeling of all the documents for right now, until you get into more specialty. If you have issues, let me know.
I do have a lot of
Okay.
questions on it.
All right. Same thing with Minwan and Jessica. If you guys at any point in time need to sit down and just go over the different contracts, all the different forms that are required, let me know and we'll set up a time and we'll go over everything. And Fish, you got Rose helping you there, right? Genesis and stuff. So, but you can still, I'm here for you. Okay. Let's see. So, when doing the listing agreement, I go all the way down here to check when everybody signed the contract. And then when I'm done with that, and this happens at the very end when you close escrow, I go into the history. And the history shows us everything that's been done in the file and who did it. And I look and see when it was opened. This is where I know if it's been opened within the 5 days. Okay? But you can always check your history. And if anything that you've uploaded, you can easily click in there too and it'll take you to the page. Okay? And let's see. Expenses. You can put stuff in here to keep track of anything that you want. Checklist here. Because there's nothing inputted, they don't have a buyer yet, they don't have anything. Otherwise, you would have a checklist here. Let's see. If you need to make or create your own tab, you go here to add doc requirement. And here's a list of different things you might want to add. Where you see this light gray, this here, you can delete that and you can type whatever you want, label it whatever you want. Okay? So, addendums in this document tab up here, okay, where it lists everything. If you're going to have multiple addendums, I'm going to suggest sometimes, I just closed one, 5 addendums. Julia Grambo does a great job, her and her son. They do addendum 1 dash. This might be what's in it. It might be a credit, price change, close of escrow date change, whatever. It's an easier way without having to open up everything to see that you've got all your addendums in a row. You've got 1 through whatever you might have. Sometimes you might have 8 or 10 addendums. It just depends on what's going on with that particular transaction. But that is one way of keeping it organized. You do not have to use the actual addendum tab that's in there. So I suggest, same thing with counteroffer. So when I TC files, if there's more than 1 counteroffer, I do separate tabs and I'll create counteroffer 1, counteroffer 2, 3, and I put the key elements. The key elements are going to be a price change. It's going to be maybe due diligence, appraisal date change. The key things in the contract changed. Those are the things you want to label. Okay. Let me see if I can. Oh, you know what? Let's find Julia's. Let's go here. Search. Julia's right here. I'll show you what it looks like. She puts everything in. Everything. Remember, we save this. We have to save everything for 5 years. There's a reason why they want us saving your stuff for 5 years. Something can always come back 3-4 years from now. There's a time to kick something back to you and you're going to be like, oh, damn, honey, why? You know, it's to protect you in case anybody, and it doesn't even have to be your client. It could be the other side going after theirs, but you're associated with the deal. So you're going to get pulled in one way or the other.
Right.
At any point in time, somebody can walk in that door and want to look at just your files. and they're gonna wanna audit all your stuff. You have to be prepared to say, you know what, I'm covered, because everything's in my file and everything's been checked, okay? Here, so she does it like this: Addendum 1, RPA, due diligence. RPA, or Addendum 4, RPA, home warranty plus terms, waiving the home warranty. She puts the deeds in there, she puts invoices in there. Anytime she's being credited, Julia is known for paying up front for a lot of different things to help out her sellers sometimes. If there's a costly repairs, she will pay up front for that, but it comes out at close of escrow in their closing funds. So she'll a lot of times get separate checks.
Can you go back up?
Yeah.
Her addendum,
Oh, her addendums right here. So this is how her and Tommy label them. Now you can type out addendum, do dash the number 1, spell out 1.
okay.
You can do whatever you want. I really don't. When I tell you guys that when you guys have an option of creating your own tab, try to label it so you can read it. So when you go into your file, this is all you really need to do. It helps you break things down a little quicker, a little faster, if you're looking for something. How many times that you could have all these addendums in there, they're not properly labeled, they're not numbered, and you're like, oh my God, I got 6 addendums. Which addendum did I put this on? Or what addendum did I put the credit on? What addendum? Somebody's looking for it and you need a copy and you need to send it to title or whatever. It's just a lot quicker this way. I'm just trying to help you be a little bit more efficient. It's really what it is.
And systematic. I mean,
And if you get in the habit of doing it, you will automatically.
right, you just develop whatever you're comfortable with in your system.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so let me look at this. Okay, so when you guys are doing cancellations, say you have a listing agreement and you need to change the price. Every time you do a price change, every time you do a date change, anytime you do a change to your listing agreement, you need an MLS change order in here. That is going to be something else that you could actually do. MLS change order, number 1, they're not actually numbered, but you could put dash and you could put price change, and actually that's what I do. I put this price to this price, because sometimes people do a price change 4 times. So now you got 4 separate MLS change orders.
So do you need it when you go from active to no-show anymore? Do you need that?
What do you mean?
Go on the email
No.
from active
No.
to under contract?
Only when you're
no-show?
changing the history of your MLS. So if you're doing a coming soon listing, you now need a coming soon addendum. That's required in the file. Given when you started, it might have just started when you got your license, because you've got yours back in April, and it was kind of around spring when the coming, sort of maybe right before that. So you have an addendum for coming soon, so it'll be CSL on the history. Then it's going to go to A for active. Hopefully then it goes under contract. Now, the MLS change order does show that if you go from under contract show, which is UCS, to UCNS, which is no show, technically you're supposed to be doing a change order. Some agents do it, some agents don't. I don't really hold you guys on that because Cory is kind of a little iffy on that one. It's only when you're doing withdrawals, you need a W status. If you do a T status, which is a temporarily off market, there is a form. When in doubt, there's a form. How about we just go with that? When in doubt, whenever you do anything, you should be going, light bulb, do I need a form? Is there something I need to be filling out? If you don't know, I got to text Bonnie and ask her, what form do I need to do this?
So coming soon to active to under contract no show, you don't need a change order.
No. Because you're going to go from your active MLS. Let's see, this is a buy-side file, my bad. So when you do a listing, you're going to have an automatic tab in here that's going to ask for your active status. And then once you go under contract, now Julia, a lot of times will automatically upload the active status. A lot of agents actually do that more and more because it's your proof of showing what in case a selling agent goes in and changes anything on the MLS, you have the original. Have you ever experienced anything like that in Ohio?
Mhm.
Okay, they'll go in and they'll change the MLS going, oh, no, it wasn't on there.
Oh, they do, they want to change the
Yeah,
code.
but if you have the original
Yep.
active MLS, if you ever had to go to the division and sue somebody or fight for your client, you at least have proof of saying, no, when I pulled it up, and this is when I took my client to show them the property, this is what was on the MLS.
Right.
So it's always very important that you hold on to those, because if you do go under contract on that particular home, you want to upload that active status of the MLS, just to keep it in your back pocket. That's how I look at it.
And I don't know how it is with Nevada, but in Ohio, I had a case one time where the listing agent reduced the code book.
Yeah,
After we're under contract.
yeah.
And so
Well, sometimes, and I've seen it,
well, sometimes
doing
legitimately,
compliance,
sometimes legitimately, but
well, sometimes their listing agreement will say 1%. They'll put a different one on the MLS, and then by the time they realize they put the wrong percentage, they're
Right.
going in and changing it, but now somebody's already printed it out
Exactly.
because now they're showing the property.
I already had
And then
print
you
out.
have to, that selling agent will have to eat that money.
And we have the division back us up, exactly. And
So when you're putting your listings on the MLS, make sure you double, triple, and quadruple check everything from your listing agreement that it matches.
Yep.
Your start date, your end date, your sales price, your EMD, electric or mechanical lockbox. Everything should be correct. Because I've heard horror stories.
oh, sure.
Yeah. But getting back to, here's your pending. So yeah,
Bonnie, can I interrupt for one?
go for it.
You just threw it out there, so I just want to confirm. We do have the option of mechanical lock boxes here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's totally up to you. But I was just informed by our lovely Julia Grambo that because her son is talking about going back MLS from non-MLS, they are now charging Sentry. Does anybody know that now you have to pay for a Sentry lockbox automatically, whether you want a box or not? You have to pay for the services. I don't know. And then they raised it from 200 to 240.
And I have hundreds of
Yeah.
mechanical.
I just found this out, so if you're gonna be calling the MLS, if you could check on that for me and get back to me, I'd appreciate it. Because Claudia, we're waiting for her. It didn't come today, because if it had, you would have already had it. So I've already instructed the guys tomorrow. Minwan, yours has not come in yet. It has not changed yet, so I've been checking. But if it comes in tomorrow, which I'm really hoping that it should, they already know to contact you. So you can either run and come pick it up, or they'll scan it to you. Okay, so whatever's easier for you. But the actual large portion we keep on file, you get the little wallet, and then I make you a copy usually. So they're gonna make a copy for you no matter what. Okay, so, but yeah, I know you need that but when she told me about the Sentry Lock, I was like, that's crazy. So now they're making all agents that are MLS, you have to pay for Sentry, whether you're gonna have a lockbox or not.
Is that just an iBox of some sort, a brand of iBox?
Well, it's the lockbox that goes on your house with the key.
It's a
Yeah.
mechanical, or it's a electronic lockbox.
Yeah. But I mean, you can still use a manual if you want, but
Okay.
MLS
But they're
is
gonna collect their
make
money because they have a licensing agreement.
Well, it costs you to pay for a box too. So you're having to pay for Sentry Lock service,
Right.
and you have to purchase yourself a lockbox.
Right.
So for right now, if you don't want a lockbox, don't pay for the lockbox.
Right.
But you're still gonna have to pay apparently
Right.
for the
I've got-
Sentry Lock
I've got-
system, which you
I've
didn't
got
have to.
boxes and
originally.
boxes and boxes of mechanical ones I'd like to use.
Well, Cory, always remember, Cory's got a whole bunch of them. He's got a whole drawer in his office. So you guys at any point in time want to use a mechanical, he's got mechanicals. We've had agents borrowing them, even on rentals. They're big on rentals. So
So it was Century, what's that company?
Sentry,
Century Lock?
Sentry Lock, SENTRI.
How does that lock, how does the mechanical work? How does that work?
You have to ask them.
Code?
It's
It's
changed
just-
since I had
It's
one.
a 4-digit code,
Okay,
2653.
okay.
or whatever you set it for.
So you give that code to realtors?
Well, somebody such as myself that's not MLS, if I wanted to show your property and your client was okay, because on the listing agreement, there is a part where it asks if your client is okay with one-day codes.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be?
Sure.
If I'm bringing a client that's willing to buy your property,
Right.
you know, so and there's a lot of times I've had to use one-day codes. I used them a bunch when I put my brother in his rental, and they don't care as long as they get a copy of like your business card. They want your license number so they can check and make sure, because anybody can look up a license number to make sure you're a licensed agent, which I am, and it shows everything. So some of them even wanted to check with my broker to make sure. I'm like, yeah, he's my broker. You can call him. Here's his number. So, but yeah, anytime this changes, we don't hold you to an MLS change order. You can do it if you want. That's completely up to you. But the only time you're going to do it is if, again, like you're changing the price, dates are changing, EMDs may be changing. This is saying no lockbox right now. So it actually shouldn't be marked at all in the listing agreement. What else? If you're changing the percentage, the co-op, this is 2%. I know of somebody who just had it 2% on the listing agreement. They put 2.5 on here on accident, on the other way. Yeah, didn't even catch it. So they ended up costing their client, their seller, another 0.5% in commission.
Wait,
Hopefully they have a good relationship with that client.
Hopefully that client doesn't figure it out a year from now when he does his taxes or something and comes back and says,
Right.
wait a minute.
I thought the realtor had to be that.
Well, now we're going the opposite direction. If
This
you're
is
the listing
flip-flop.
agent and your listing agreement says, say, 2.0, and this says 2.5. Now,
You've offered 2.5 to
the
that
co-op,
co-op.
but the listing agreement that you sat down with your client and discussed was 2%. So now you put in the public's eye an extra 0.5%.
Right, the realtor has to pay the 0.5%.
Yeah, but if they don't make it known to their client, and the client doesn't find out until, say, a year from now or 2 years from now, and is going through some old papers in a drawer and comes across their listing agreement and realizes, wait a minute, I actually paid more than I should have paid.
Yeah.
Guess who they're calling? They can't get in touch with the agent. They're calling the broker that handled the deal. I've seen all kinds of stuff. So that's why I tell you guys it's very important to make sure that you are doing everything you're supposed to be doing. Cory will like to tell you that sometimes on these listing agreements, less is better. Depends on what you're selling, in my mind.
Sometimes the less said, the
Yeah,
less meant.
I mean, if it's a $2 million property, you want to advertise it, right? You want to showcase as much as you can, right? So, and or if it's a flip, I don't know, depending on the property. So, okay, so let's get back to this really quick. So again, like I was saying, if you are canceling a contract or withdrawing off of, because there's an illness in the family, a death in the family, now they want to take it off the market, you would need an actual withdrawal form. If there's some temporary stuff that needs to be done in the house, say while the house is under, on the MLS, but not under contract yet, they have a water leak. Well, now you might need to put it on T status so they can get the water cleaned up and get the repairs done, and then they put it back on. There is a T status form that needs to be filled out and signed by your client. And the T status, I believe, needs to be notarized as well. Let's see. Broker compensation. A lot of this stuff I just put on there for you guys to show, just to help you as far as what you might need, the common things in the file. It's not anything that we really need to go over here. So, perfect example, just had on this deal, her commission was $40,000. It came in $665 short. not on the settlement statement, there's no credit, there's no nothing. So immediately I reach out to the agent, Julia, take a picture of the check, this is what I received, is there something I'm missing in the file? Or do you need to call title? Because now I cannot deposit that check. Now, thank God she's not depending on that $40,000, but I can't deposit that check. I now have to wait to find out what title's gonna do. So they're gonna come, pick up the check, and bring me a new check. Problem is they're probably not gonna do it today. It'll probably be done tomorrow. So now she's gonna wait to get paid until next week, when she could have been paid tomorrow. Yeah, yes. So, when I get your settlement statement, when we are uploading into these files, this portion here where it says closing disclosure, don't need to do it. I do it. I put the actual certified copy in there. Now, if you have it and you want to put it in there, you can, but I'm going to double check it against what actually comes in the envelope delivered from title. Okay. Some people like to create a tab, their own tab, and they'll estimate a settlement statement. Julia does that. They like to put the estimated in there as well. Okay. Because that might show what mistakes versus what was corrected when we get the actual certified copy in. Okay.
In that particular case, did she run the ground at 665 difference?
What turned out to be was the buyer was going to purchase a home warranty per the RPA, and they did an addendum 5 is in the file. If we scroll up, we will see addendum 5 is waiving the home warranty. So if I open this up and we look at the document, you're seeing buyer waives home warranty purchase. Well, apparently somebody at title or on the team overlooked it, but it's not on the settlement statement.
Right.
So somebody got the message, but then whoever cut the check didn't get the message. They didn't get the purchase
in that particular case,
and it happens.
if in that amount, $400, $500, $600, the first thing my mind would have gone to would have been a warranty.
Right. But when this comes in, when this stuff happens and your closing package comes in, I'm going to immediately notify you. And Fish, when it comes to groups, I will immediately notify you and Rose. So you were both notified. So somebody needs to call at that point title to make sure that it gets fixed. And if you want to be paid the next day, if your file's done, that you need that check. And you have to hound them. You tell them, I want that run, I want that new check there today. I want my check in today.
Title sends it to you before you go to the table, before you go to the closing, you can check the work, and then you can have it squared before you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Settlement statement came in and it's perfect. The check is printed wrong.
Yeah.
So now, if you were somebody who needed that money or you were counting on that money, what if you were buying a car? What if you were buying a house? What if something and you needed that money and now you're sitting here on the phone going, no, I want it there within the hour. They can do it. You have to tell them. And always remember too, when you guys are closing on your package on a thing, you can swing by and pick up your closing package and hand deliver it to me. Okay? Ruben just did it yesterday. Julia did it 2 weeks ago. Depending on the situation, you can go, you contact your escrow officer that you've been dealing with. You let them know I'm picking up the package. Because we've had some agents wait 2 weeks before their package gets here. It got lost in the shuffle with a runner. You want to wait 2 weeks for your commission? Hell no. So I'm letting you guys know you have the option of going by title as long as you let them know. Don't give it to a runner. I'm coming to get it. Leave it at the front desk, whatever the case. Everybody's a little different. You go pick it up. You bring it to me. That check will go in that day. If your file is good to go, I will not be doing a final review. If I'm not TCing your file, no pun intended, TC.
I know.
But if I'm not TCing your file, I don't do a final review of your file until your package comes in. And at that point, I will then notify you, this is everything that needs to be fixed, or I'm missing this, or I'm missing that. It happens. Things get overlooked. I mean, don't feel embarrassed. It happens to everybody, even the ones who think they're perfect. It happens every once in a while. But at that point, once everything is in there, you will be paid as soon as possible. As long as that check goes in the night before, the very next day I can pay you. We will pay you up until 3, 4 o'clock the next day, and we've done it. And over the holidays, Nels has come in. on a Saturday just to pay people. Because if somebody needs the money for Christmas, whatever the case may be, he will come in and it takes him seconds to send you a check. So just remember that. You have options here. We don't have cutoffs. Like a lot of brokerages, they have a cutoff at 1 o'clock. You have to wait until a certain time. They're not going to do anything. Okay. Every time your closing package comes in, always know I will take the entire package. I take all the staples out, hopefully. I scan the entire package and I will upload it. Now this one I haven't done because her check was wrong. So I'm not scanning the whole package. Wild Grit, we just paid him out on this one. I will label it title paperwork, closing package. I will put the date it came in and the time it arrived. And when you open it up, you will see this is exactly what was in your package from the title company. Copies of your checks, okay? It'll have the settlement statement. When I go through the settlement statement, I check to make sure title company matches everywhere on contracts, that it's the final. I check the closing date. I check the buyer's names, the seller's names, address, and zip code. I can't tell you sometimes zip code actually comes up wrong. Final sales price. I'm checking to make sure the commissions are correct. I'm checking to make sure that Franco Group charges $4.99 on pretty much 99% of their files. If there's any credits, which this one doesn't have, I'm checking to see if there's any credits, really only from your side. Anything that's protecting your client and you is what I'm checking, okay? But that's pretty much all I look at on the settlement statement, okay? If any point in time you guys don't understand the settlement statement, let me know. If I can't help you, I'll hook you up with somebody from a title company, one of the reps. We have them in here all the time. They will sit and explain stuff to you. You may have already had some reps reaching out to you. I know you guys work with Natalie a lot, and Driggs. You've had Lonnie too. We've got Whitney now coming in. We've got, she's from Security First. These people will sit and tell you all about their services. They're all different. Everybody does different things for you. Those calendars out there, Lonnie just dropped, not the big desk one, the one next to it, the Vegas looking one. She actually said they'll make those posters for you with your information. You could have that done, paid for by title. You guys want to find everything you can do that's less money out of your pocket, that advertises you. And you can go and drop them off at businesses. Businesses will be hanging the new 2022 calendar. It's got your face, your number. And it didn't cost you. All it's going to cost you is time to go in.
Who does it?
Lonnie's doing it. You'll see them out here. They got the dice and everything on them. They're the small little calendar. And then she's got the desk ones out there too. Natalie will be bringing in her Tycor ones too, I'm sure soon. Sit down, interview everybody, talk to everybody, see what everybody can do for you. One title company, you might like the escrow officer, but you like how this one is treating you as far as giving you stuff. I mean, you utilize however you need to utilize to help grow your business.
Right.
You're self-employed. This is on you. We're here to try and help you succeed on that as well. Okay, then the e-commission checks. Did anybody go over that with you guys yet?
Nels did.
Okay. So basically, you already know, and you already know, when we send that decommission check, I text you. Because when you get it in an email, this happened to Brenda a couple of times. She's out and about, she's showing houses with clients. She's waiting on her clients, she's going through her email. She opens up her email, going, oh crap, you only got 30 minutes to print your check. So make sure you're near a printer. So this is why I text you and say, hey, e-commission has been sent for, I put the property. So this way, if you ever need to search back, or I need to search back, or whatever, I can say, nope, I paid them, and this is when I paid them. Because on your phone, it shows date, time, everything, right? But on there, I'm gonna tell you, Claudia, e-commission's been sent, so now you know it's sitting in your inbox. You know you're not gonna touch that email. You might look at it and say, okay, there it is, but you're not gonna open it until you're near a printer. Because you only have a half an hour to actually get it printed, okay? Now, at any point in time you want us to print it, we'll put it in your mailbox. We do it all the time. Rose coming by for a check later. Rose actually, I don't think she's actually ever had one emailed to her. I think she has all of hers printed. But we'll put it in your mailbox, and if it's a Friday, and you know, if you're going out of town to Florida and you got a clothing package that came in, Julia, when she goes to Cali, hey, don't pay me. Wait until I get back. Okay, fine. When are you coming back? All right. I discuss with her when's a good time. I make a note of it. We will send you the e-commission, so this way it's not sitting in your inbox. Okay? We can do whatever you guys want to do. You just tell us. Okay? Any questions for me
I have questions, but
outside this? Okay. No questions? Claudia, you're so quiet back there. She's like, oh my God, this is so much information. And Minwan and Jessica, you guys hopefully are making a list of questions. You know who to contact. I'm going out of town for the weekend, but I'm back in next week. Let me know. Seriously, this is why we're here. Text me whenever. I know you do.
me?
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to ask questions.
No. And I've always said there's no such thing as a stupid question. If you don't know, you don't know. You want to learn. The only way you're going to learn is if you ask. So, and you know what? And sometimes that one question will lead to another answer, to another answer, to another answer. So, we would rather make sure we get you guys on the squared away on everything, right? So, okay, I've kept you long enough.
Class dismissed.
Class dismissed. Goodbye. I don't know how to turn that off. I gotta go get Cory. All right.
So, can I show you this bill?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's theirs. That's theirs.
you can see me, blah, blah, blah,
You
blah.
didn't sign it?
Oh, and that's what I'm like.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. And then when I'm here, I know I put reference for but there's no,
Yeah.
You come in?
About 10 minutes. You?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, honey.
Yeah. Like the last week of last week or the last minute of last minute.
Oh, yeah. I'm not giving that him.
let me see if that one works.
What file is that? Oh, it's in her name. No. Okay. You let me know when Carla was in there earlier. I thought so as well. Yeah.
See ya.
Bye, Cece.
about myself. Yeah, you can see, feel, it came out to like, my 50% of my commission with all that. Yeah. And I was like, ah, I should have moved later.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way it works.
Yeah. But she's a very nice person. How long you been a realtor?
All your life, probably.
Yeah. I was, before this, I was like, casino. Yeah,
All
22 years.
right.
I built up, Nahade. Yeah, my specialty was baccarat and blackjack. 2 years. I opened the joint.
Did you know Bill Richardson?
Oh, yeah. You know, Richardson?
I knew I've known him for
Oh,
a long, long time.
yeah. He's a host, right? Richardson.
He was an owner. He was one of the owners.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then he built the one next door. He was a builder and he was involved in a lot of different ways.
Huh, I guess I think I'm a different Richardson, but we did have Richardson. That was the host.
Yeah, I think he's the builder for the one that just opened. Resorts World. I think he built that too.
Yeah, my husband's still in the business.
Yeah.
Supervisor over there. So, yeah.
I've known a lot of people that work in casinos.
Yeah.
Michael Gaughan's a friend of mine.
This is different for me, and I'm happy to be out of it. Because the smoke and everything. I'm sure it's calmed down now, and everybody's gonna wear
Think of
masks.
it now as your source.
Yeah.
As a source, you know.
Yeah, but the
Have
thing
you ever heard of sphere of influence?
yes, but the thing about that is like, okay, so everybody always, like, there's a lot of like part-time realtors there. And they're still there, right? If they're still there, they're getting it, you know what I mean? They're getting the clients there. I'm not there anymore, so
Yeah.
whoever they're in contact with and they see, and yeah, so it really helps them that they're there every day, and it's their hot side hustle, right?
Yeah.
Is anybody still in here?
Me?
Oh, hey.
Well, that's
Hey, Nels asked me to email you, an invoice for November. It's the end of November. Do you want to get a card on file so it just does
oh, you were
recurring?
talking to me? I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. Okay, what? Nels?
I just emailed you this.
Mhm.
It's a link to pay.
Oh, okay.
But we'll need a card on file.
Oh, is it due already?
Not till the end of the month, but you wanted me to send
Yeah, I
it.
can give you a card on file. I mean,
And then, do you want me to just have it auto drafted?
yeah, that would be fine. So, cause yeah, I'm very forgetful and stuff.
Yeah, because it was August. So you got September and October. It's not due till the end of the month, but if I get it on file, then it'll just automatically charge it.
Like when will it,
I